today's tip is about using bunker shots in a slightly different way to what you might have used before. And what I mean by that is actually we have two different pin positions here, one of which is a relatively classic bunker shot of about 15 yards, and that one in the distance is about 35 yards. Now, what most amateur golfers do is that they will hit as hard as they'll hit their normal bunker shot to that one that's closer, and then they'll hit as hard as they can with the sand wedge to the furthest one. What I'm suggesting is that in any shot beyond those closer ones, you start to play around with the other clubs in your bag. This is a principle I learned from a fascinating golf professional in South Africa that I did some work with a couple of years ago. And we went through that whole process of lots of work around the green, learning how to get to these different distances. Now, the rule of thumb that you can work on is that basically your clubs, you'll hit about a third of the normal distance that you would hit a gentle-ish version of that shot. So you get rid of the sand wedge, and for that 35-yard shot, you use your wedge. Now I can hit my normal, relatively soft wedge, 3/4 kind of wedge, goes about 90-95 yards. So I should be able to hit my wedge in a relatively similar way and get to that far position. So the same thing applies, club face open, slightly open stance, aggressively hitting a couple of inches behind the ball with a little bit of an open club face. So we got it pretty much pin high, but a little bit to the left. But the same principle then applies to perhaps of more interest to those really, really difficult kind of 50-yard bunker shots, which you will consistently have you know, out in a golf course, and that's where you use your 8-iron, because you're using in and around a third of that sort of a distance. But you've got to work within your own distances. It's something to play around with a little bit, but what it does is it ends up giving you much more confidence around the green when you're in a bunker, not just to have to try and hit your sand wedge as hard as you can and hope for the best. A lot of amateur golfers basically have one principle that they're working on in terms of a bunker, which is just to get the thing out. You need to be getting it out and close, and it's not as difficult as you might imagine. You've just got to work your way around different clubs. So to get more tips, make sure you click the link below and we'll get those out to you as soon as possible.